Ever looked at a muddy field and thought, what this place needs is 1,000 goats? No? Sensible. Most people would see the mud, the mess, and the sheer emptiness and think, let's keep it that way. But there's a certain breed of dreamer, maybe a little bit wild, definitely a little bit stubborn, who looks at that same field and imagines it teeming with life, energy, and, yes, 1,000 goats munching away. For those rare souls, managing a massive herd is less about should I, and more about how do I survive this. It's not just a question of ambition, it's a test of endurance, patience, and a willingness to embrace chaos on a daily basis. Imagine waking up every morning to a sea of bleeding, hungry animals, all looking to you for their next meal, their safety, and their health. A small flock is a hobby. It's a weekend project, a handful of quirky personalities to get to know, and maybe a few names to remember. You can manage a dozen goats with a bit of effort and a lot of patience, but 1,000 goats? That's a logistical nightmare. Feeding, fencing, health, and chaos on an industrial scale. Every day is a new puzzle: how to get enough hay, how to keep the water troughs full, how to make sure every goat gets its fair share. The scale of the operation means you're not just a farmer, you're a manager, a problem solver, and sometimes a miracle worker. Each goat is both an investment and a potential disaster. Every animal represents time, money, and care, but also risk. One overlooked detail, a missed vaccination, a broken gate, a forgotten feeding, can spiral into a much bigger problem. One sick animal can mean a herd-wide crisis. Disease spreads fast when you have so many animals living close together. Suddenly, you're not just treating one goat, you're scrambling to protect hundreds, maybe even your entire livelihood. And then there's the escape artists. One broken fence, and you're chasing a stampede through your neighbor's garden, apologizing for trampled flowers and hoping you can round everyone up before chaos spreads even further. Goats are clever, curious, and always looking for trouble, so you have to stay one step ahead. If you're ready for relentless work, endless repairs, and the wildest ride in agriculture, welcome to the world of large-scale goat herding. It's not for the faint of heart, but for those who thrive on challenge. It's a life like no other, full of noise, surprises, and the satisfaction of doing something truly extraordinary. Let's be clear, farming isn't in my blood. I didn't grow up dreaming of muddy boots or early mornings in a barn. In fact, if you'd asked me a few years ago, I'd have said the closest I'd get to a goat was on a cheese platter at a fancy restaurant. But life, as it often does, had other plans for me. I'm Jeremy Clarkson, a TV presenter who, in a moment of either madness or inspiration, bought a farm. What started as a bit of a joke quickly spiraled into a full-blown adventure. Through a series of questionable decisions, a lot of stubbornness, and perhaps a touch of naivety, I found myself knee-deep in goat wrangling. And let me tell you, nothing on television prepared me for what was to come. I thought goats would be easy. I mean, how hard could it be? They're small, they're cute, and they eat grass, right? Well, I was spectacularly wrong. Goats are escape artists, mischief makers, and frankly far too clever for their own good. Or for mine. They escape at the drop of a hat, eat everything in sight, including things you'd never imagine, and get sick in ways that defy all logic and reason. I've seen goats chew through fences, devour my favorite shirt, and come down with illnesses that left even the local vet scratching their head. Every day brought a new challenge, and every challenge brought a new lesson, usually learned the hard way. But after countless mistakes, endless vet bills, and more ruined boots than I care to admit, I started to get the hang of it. I learned to read the goats' moods, anticipate their next escape attempt, and even spot the early signs of trouble. It wasn't glamorous, and it certainly wasn't easy, but it was real. Slowly but surely I turned the chaos into something resembling a business. What began as a disaster zone became a thriving operation, exporting goat milk, cheese, and other products to customers around the world. It's not just about the products, though. It's about the journey, the learning, and the sheer unpredictability of it all. My expertise didn't come from textbooks or online courses. No, my education was hands-on, delivered by a herd of goats with a knack for chaos and a sense of humor. I learned by doing, by failing, and by picking myself up, again and again. I've been outsmarted by goats more times than I can count. I've watched them open gates, leap over fences, and team up to cause maximum mayhem, but I've also learned to laugh at their antics and appreciate their intelligence. Surviving to tell the tale is, in itself, a badge of honor. I've made every mistake in the book, and a few that aren't. But with each blunder, I discovered what actually works. I found routines that keep the goats happy, fences that mostly hold, and a sense of satisfaction in seeing a healthy, contented herd. If I can do it, if I can go from clueless city dweller to accidental goat guru, then so can you. And hopefully, you'll manage it with fewer disasters, less mud, and maybe even a bit more dignity. This is the real story of goat farming. Mud, madness, and every now and then, a taste of success. So, if you're ready for a wild ride, let's get started. Managing a large herd of goats isn't about complicated formulas or high-tech gadgets. It's about turning the simplest resource, grass, into a profitable business and doing it with purpose and precision. Every day you're making choices that affect not just your bottom line but the health of your animals and the land they depend on. The real secret? It's not magic or luck. It's relentless observation, watching your goats, noticing the small changes and acting fast. It's ruthless efficiency, streamlining chores, reducing waste and making every minute count. And above all, it's sticking to the basics. Health, nutrition, and land management. These are the pillars that hold up any successful goat operation. Every decision you make sends ripples through your herd. Choosing cheap feed might save you a few bucks today, but it can lead to expensive vet bills and lost productivity down the road. Quality nutrition is an investment, not an expense. Build a system that works for you and your goats. Focus on the fundamentals: good shelter, clean water, and a routine that keeps stress low and productivity high. Organization is your friend. Prevention is always cheaper than cure. Vaccinate on time, keep living spaces clean, and catch problems early. A healthy herd is a profitable herd. Breeding isn't a game of chance, it's a science. Track your data, select for strong genetics, and plan each breeding season with intention. The future of your herd depends on the choices you make today. Your land is your foundation. Manage it wisely, rotate pastures, avoid overgrazing, and let the soil recover. Healthy land means healthy goats, year after year. There are no shortcuts in goat farming. It's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and paying attention to the details that others might miss. Consistency is what separates the good from the great. Think of yourself as the CEO of a living, breathing factory. Your decisions drive the entire operation, from the health of your animals to the quality of your final product. Your raw materials are simple: grass, water, and sunlight. But with the right management, you transform them into high-quality food, whether it's milk, meat, or fiber. In this series, I'll give you the operational manual for making it work, step by step, with practical tips you can use right away. Let's get started on your journey to mastering goat science. The foundation of profit is health. Sick goats cost money and time. Prevention is your best friend. Strict vaccination schedules, top-notch nutrition, and relentless biosecurity. Goats are picky eaters. Supplement their diet with quality hay and minerals. Don't skimp on feed, especially for pregnant or milking does. Quarantine every new arrival. 30 days, no exceptions. Visitors? Disinfect those boots. Watch your goats daily. Spotting illness early saves the herd. Your eyes are your best diagnostic tool. Healthy goats mean fewer vet bills and more profit. Build a bubble of health around your herd. Your wallet will thank you. Stress is the enemy. Stressed goats get sick, produce less, and cause chaos. Overcrowding, sudden changes, loud noises, and rough handling all spike stress. Your job? Create a calm, predictable environment, enough space, quiet handling, and consistent routines. Move them gently, let them adjust, and be a reassuring presence. Calm goats are healthier, more productive, and easier to manage. Less stress equals more milk, more meat, and more money. Simple. Breeding is where you shape your herd's future. Select for milk, health, and temperament, ruthlessly. Data is king. Tag every goat, track every record, milk yield, health, kids, everything. The buck is half your genetics. Choose wisely. Invest in proven sires, not just what's convenient. Synchronize breeding seasons for easier management. Monitor does, prepare for kidding, and keep meticulous records. It's exhausting, but seeing a field of healthy kids proves it's worth it. You're not just raising goats, you're building better ones generation by generation. That's real progress. Land management is as vital as animal care. 1,000 goats can destroy a pasture fast. Rotational grazing is the answer. Divide fields, move goats regularly, and let grass recover. This breaks parasite cycles, improves pasture, and boosts productivity. It's more work, moving fences, planning rotations, and outsmarting goats, but it pays off. Healthier goats, better land, and more efficient use of resources. You can keep more animals on less land sustainably. It's the smartest way to farm. Now, the payoff selling your products. The global market for goat meat, milk and cheese is booming. Know your buyers, meat, milk or cheese? Each market has its own demands and paperwork. Exporting means navigating regulations and finding reliable agents. Marketing is about storytelling. Show your animal welfare, sustainability, and quality. People pay for a good story. Use social media, build a brand, and let your hard work shine. Be ready for market swings and competition. Sustainability is your edge. Use it. Embrace new tech herd management apps, drones, and automation boost efficiency. Combine old school wisdom with modern savvy for real success. After all the chaos, is goat farming worth it? Honestly, probably. It's not easy or quick money. It's relentless, unpredictable, and exhausting. But there's deep satisfaction in building something real. Healthy animals, great food, and a thriving business. You'll face heartbreak and frustration, but also moments of pure joy and accomplishment. Success demands passion, pragmatism, and a sense of humor. For the right person, it's the best job in the world. Powerfully good.